Bonsoir, bonsoir tout le monde. Bonsoir mes amis. Bonsoir mes frères. Bonsoir mes sœurs. Bonsoir tout le monde. Bonsoir, oui, bonsoir ma famille. Bonsoir. Bonsoir tout le monde. Bonsoir mes amis. Bonsoir mes frères, mes sœurs, ma famille. Ah, je m'appelle Cutler et pour la 1850 suivant, je suis dans votre chambre, dans votre maison, dans votre voiture. Et aujourd'hui, c'est jeudi, le 1er d'octobre. And yeah, don't hang up, everybody. Don't leave. It's me. You're in the right place. I just morphed in from Paris, and I was working on my French, just rehearsing my French, just having fun with you all. I hope everybody's doing fine. It is me. It's Cutler for the next 1800 seconds. That's what I was saying in French. Pour le mille huit cent cinquante. For the next 1800 seconds, I'm with you in your house, your car, your rooms, your family room, your kitchen, wherever you will have me. And let's go on and see who's going to join me in the chat to become the LTTC VIPs for the evening. It looks like Jackie and Hattie are the first two. I want to see who else is going to join me in the chat to become the next LTT VIP for the and it. Bonsoir, bonsoir, mama. The next LTTC VIP is none other than my mother. Bonsoir, ma mère. Je t'aime. So listen, for the next 1800 seconds, you got me. This is Cutler. It's the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the platform, and I'm with you in your living room, your house, your car, your kitchen, wherever you will have me. I'm thankful to be with you. It's Thursday, October the 1st. Let's do what we do. I've already called out the VIPs for the evening. That's Jackie, Hattie, and Annie, my mom. And of course, you all know that we are talking. We come here for inspiration and for motivation, and our source of reference really is this book. It's my seventh book. The book is Billboards to Better, 366 Sources of Motivation and Inspiration Along the Highway of Life. How many of you all know that we are in for a ride? We're down this highway, we're along the highway, and we're going to end up at a destination that has our name on it, and we're going to be better for the journey, for the time that we spend with each other. I'm so glad that you all are watching. I want to go ahead and get started. And again, in case you missed my opening when you just chimed in, when you tuned in, j'ai dit bonsoir tout le monde, bonsoir mes amis, comment ça va? Bonsoir mon frère, bonsoir tout le monde. Et je m'appelle Cutler et pour le 1850 suivant, je suis avec toi dans votre auto dans votre voiture, dans votre maison, dans votre chambre. Et aujourd'hui, c'est jeudi le 1er d'octobre. D'accord? All right. Hey, you all got me. I'm here with you. Let's do this. Let's talk about it. I see family, friends, brothers, sisters, everybody. I'm glad to see you all. All right, from all over the country. I know some of you all you're watching from different places, from Georgia, from California, all over the place. Do me a favor. While you're here in the room with me, don't leave. Go ahead and click that thumbs up to let YouTube know that you like the content. To let them know that you like what we're going to talk about, what we've talked about so far. I'm glad to see everybody. Go and say hi to some people who in the room. And let me take a sip. All right, you all. Let's go ahead and get started. You all know how we do this. You all know how we do this. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. So we look at our sources of motivation from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And when it gets to Saturday, Saturday is all day your way. Let that source of motivation be a conversation starter. Let it be a point of meditation. Let it be something that just gets you through the rest of the day. I hope, listen, just inbox me, email me if you want some French tutorial sessions. Just hit me up and je suis ici pour vous. All right, that says I'm here for you. Say, let's go on. Let's go on to September. Let's go on to September. If you have the book again, it can be found. You can get it by going to gbcutler.com, but just run on over to amazon.com and pick it up. But this is our source of reference. All right. And we are starting with today is Thursday, which means that we're starting with Wednesday. We'll do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You all, we are in for something. I want to know this before we get started. Are you a gossiper? I'm just curious. If you're brave enough to put it in the chat, I just want to hear it. Are you a gossiper? Then, are you assertive? Are you overly assertive? Do you always have to be right? And how difficult is it for you to say no? Those things. Are you a gossiper? Do you always have to be right? And is it difficult for you to say no? That's what we're going to talk about this evening. So go ahead, thumbs up on the conversation, like it, share it with somebody, and tell them you don't want to miss this. So let's go ahead and talk about it. All right, September 30th. September 30th. And our motivational quote says, gossiping, oh my goodness, right out of the gate, gossiping with one group gets your name inserted on the subject line of another group. Gossiping with one group gets your name inserted on the subject line of another group. My goodness, I know that that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot to have to contend with right out of the gate on a Thursday. Cutler, what are you talking about? Have you all ever heard the saying that a dog that brings a bone will, you all could probably finish it, a dog that brings a bone will carry a bone. That's right. Now, let me just say this. I have some friends, and maybe you all have some friends too, who love to gossip. I mean, love to gossip. I have some relatives who love to gossip. I know some people who, if you want to know something, just call them, just ask them. And if you want something known, just call them and let them know. And they will spread it like wildfire. They will spread it faster than a rescue squad or an ambulance, faster than a police squad car. They will spread it. And let me just be honest, let me just be transparent. And I'm reading your comments about, those first three questions. But let me be honest. I'm not saying, excuse me, that I don't fall subject to the grapevine and the gossip column from time to time, because I would be lying if I said that I don't like to be in the know. I like to be in the know. I really do. But what this quote is saying, what this moment of inspiration is saying to us, is that gossiping is not so important to me that I have to be the first person to tell somebody about somebody who died, somebody who lost their job, somebody who went to the hospital, somebody who got fired, somebody whose marriage broke up, somebody whose business failed, or somebody who got arrested. Gossiping is not that important to me that I have to be the first person to spread that kind of news. No, no. I don't need to be the first to carry bad news, because you know what I've learned in my years here on this planet, on Earth. What I've learned is that I don't need to be the first to carry bad news, because you have to be careful how you carry bad news, because bad news will carry you. What in the world is Cutler talking about? What I'm saying is this, you all. Before you know it, when you keep carrying bad news, before you know it, your name will be dishonored. Your reputation would be messed up. I'm just giving you all some advice. I told you I'm trying to help save your life tonight. Your character will be scarred and you will be disgraced. That's right, it takes a whole lot of energy to gossip, I'm telling you. And some of the same people that you gossip with will pretend that they never had a conversation with you a day in their lives. Be careful with these people that you gossip with and these people who like to carry gossip. Don't you listen, you all? That's why you really have to be careful. Don't you know that when you're in the middle of a gossip ring, I'm just trying to help you tonight. Don't you know that when you are in the middle of a gossip ring, there are people who will gossip with you, but those same people will gossip about you. You all, I'm just really trying to help save your life tonight. And I'm telling you all this. Many of you all know that for 14 years, I taught on historically Black college and university's campus. For 14 years, I taught at Howard University. And my students taught me this new word. They called it tea. Let me say this. You don't need tea. You don't need tea. Maybe you need some coffee, some milk, some lemonade, or something other than tea. Maybe you just need to get some water and sit down and stop gossiping. Because I'm telling you, you've got to be careful. Again, the people who gossip with you might just gossip on you. So I was wondering how many of you are gossipers, but yeah, I'm reading the comments. And you're right. It takes too much energy. It takes a whole lot of energy to gossip. I see what you all are saying. So the next question, I wanted to know if you always have to be right. Are you the kind of person who always have to be right? Again, as you're coming into the room, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click a thumbs up and like the comments and like the conversation. And again, click on share. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and then click the bell so you'll be notified whenever I'm online. Of course, you all know our source again is Billboards to Better on Amazon. You can get it over also on my website. But the next question I asked was, do you always have to be right? I'm wondering, do you always have to be right as we look at our source of motivation for October the 1st, which is today? And you heard me say the 1er d'October. Yes, that's the 1st of October. So here, stop trying to be right all of the time and try to be righteous some of the time. Stop trying to be right all of the time and try to be righteous some of the time. Now, I'm not going to go off into revival mode, I promise you that, but we don't have to be right all the time. But let's get the righteous piece right. Let's get the righteous piece right. So what am I saying? What am I saying as we look at this? This is an offer. This is an offer or an offering to help the overly assertive people, to let you know that you don't have to be right all the time. I'm reading your comments. Some of these comments are funny to me, right? But listen, you know, the people who are domineering and always have to be right. You don't have to, I'm trying to help somebody tonight. You don't have to be right all the time. And even if you're right, you all, guess what? You don't have to boast about it. You don't have to gloat about it. You don't have to brag about it. You don't have to prove a point. I've sat in conversations with some people. I'm just sharing this with you all tonight. I've sat in conversations with some people, and it was just a casual conversation where we brought up different facts, that could be proven, but the accuracy of the facts, that's really not what was important. It was really the getting together and the camaraderie and the fellowship, if you will. And so the accuracy of the facts really were not that important. But do you know what those sneaky individuals did? They pulled out their phones, unbeknownst to some of us, went on Google to fact check us while we were talking with their sneaky selves, fact checking us while they were talking just to prove that some of us were wrong and they were right. What, is it that important to be right? And so you do know that I don't fool with those people anymore. I don't engage with them in a casual conversation anymore. When you have got to be right all the time, when you've got to be right all the time, no, I don't fool with people like that. When it's so important for you to be right and prove that everybody else is wrong, no, 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 no. I don't have time. Because guess what, you all? Even when you are right, even when you are right, you can still, I'm going to help somebody here, you can still deliver right news a wrong way. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Even when you are right, you can still deliver right news the wrong way. Honestly, there comes a time when it's more important to be righteous rather than to be right. It really comes a time when it's more important to be righteous than it is to be right. There may be times when you are right, when you are accurate in your assessment, but your delivery is flawed. You may be right in your assessment. You may be accurate with your assessment of the fact, but you can be wrong in your delivery of the information. What are you saying? What does that mean? It means that you're right, but your attitude is messed up. It means that you're right, but the young folk would say your vibe is off. Your vibe is all wrong. You could be right, but the old folk would say you got a nasty disposition. You could be right, but my Southern family and friends would say you nice nasty. I'm telling you, it's not always important just to be right. There have been times, no doubt. Let me just stay here and help somebody. I only got 1,800 seconds with y'all. There can be times when you are right. You could be in discussions with your family members and you could be right with the facts. You can be right with the facts. But for the sake of keeping the peace, you've got to learn to be quiet. I just took a moment of silence for those of us who don't know how to be quiet. You can be right with the facts. You can be right with your evaluation, your assessment of the fact when you're talking to family. But for the sake of peace, sometimes you just got to learn to do this. Just got to learn to be quiet. There have been times, no doubt, for some of you on your jobs, maybe you were the manager, it doesn't matter, but maybe there were times when on your job you were right. But for the sake of maintaining a cohesive working group, learn to bite the bullet and stop being so overly assertive. I'm just trying to help somebody with this one. Okay? It's not always that important to be right. Yes, I'm loving the comments. That's right. Sometimes you've just got to keep the peace. It is more important to me, and I hope it is for you all, family members of Let's Talk to Cutler. It is more important to me to keep peace than to assert how right I was. Because guess what? I know I'm right. You know when you're right. And so does it matter that you have to prove the point? I'm telling you, I'm just trying to help somebody tonight. You know when you're right. Don't 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 embarrass people by just trying to prove that they're wrong and that you're right. Again, I've said it before. You don't have to scratch anybody's diamond to make your emerald shine. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. So is it safe to be quiet when you know you're right? Absolutely. Sometimes it's safe to be quiet when you know you're right, but you have to examine the situation, because sometimes when you're right, you do need to speak up. But other times, I'm really talking about people just overly assertive and who just have to prove that they're right for the sake of their ego and for the sake of self-aggrandizing. Those kind of people, sometimes you just have to be quiet. Sometimes you have to be quiet, but other times when it's right, it's for the sake of ethics, for the sake of integrity. There are other times, yes, when you absolutely have to speak. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, listen, you all know I don't come here to spend your time. We got 1,800 seconds together, whether I'm in your family room, your car, wherever you are. We are looking at Billboards to Better as our source of inspiration. If you haven't done so, again, thank you, Devin. Go ahead and like this comment. Make sure that you share and subscribe. I'm going to go over to October 2nd. Let's see what our quote for October 2nd says. You all, I asked you this before. Do you find it difficult to say no? Ooh, let's take a look at October the 2nd, which is our source for tomorrow. Be honest in love and in hate. When it comes to the things that you like and the things that you don't like, just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Let me offer this. This is not about going around and giving your unsolicited opinions. That's not what this is about. Sometimes it does not speak well of your personality to always feel like you've got to give your opinion. It doesn't speak well of your character or your personality to be considered overly opinionated. It doesn't. And it has been said, you all, I'm telling you, it has been said that one of the good things about social media is that everybody has an opinion. It has also been said that one of the bad things about social media is that everybody has an opinion. All right? Listen, you don't always have to offer an opinion about everything. You really don't. Sometimes when people post things on social media, they're not posting it for your opinion. They're posting it to vent. That's all. They're not asking for your opinion. They're just posting it to vent. And I wish people would learn the difference. Sometimes a person is trying to vent. Sometimes they may be asking for your opinion. And when you just don't know the people, why are you bothering to offer your opinion anyway? I mean, you're arguing with somebody all the way over in China and you're arguing. Somebody down in Brazil and you're arguing. Somebody in Australia and you have never left the continent and you're arguing with these people. Stop it. You're offering your opinion. Listen, I'm telling you this. Now, having said all of that, when you are, I want to go here, when you are asked your opinion or your feedback, the statement is the source of motivation for this evening says to be honest. In all things, be honest. So this quote, I'm telling you, it's not just about honesty and integrity, but it's also about the ability to free yourself. Lord, I hope I can free somebody tonight on this Let's Talk the Cutler platform. So it's about the ability to free yourself. It's about the ability not to be held hostage, you all, not to be held hostage by your own thoughts, not to be held hostage by your own decisions and by your responses. Don't be held hostage by yourself. Your thoughts got you held hostage. Your decisions got you held hostage. Your responses got you held hostage. Absolutely, absolutely not. Not at all. This is about learning how to master the moment. That's what we're chatting about now. We just got a few more seconds, but this is about learning how to master the moment and how to speak the truth of your heart and the truth of your mind. And how many times have you ever been a part of the conversation where people are asking you things, they ask you your opinion, and you just consented, you just acquiesced, you just went along, or you said nothing at all. You went along with the decision and you knew that it didn't resonate with your soul. How many times has that been you? You had the opportunity to speak. You had the opportunity to say something. You had the opportunity to express yourself, to express that you didn't like it, but you sat there and you either said, yes, I like it, or you said nothing at all. Y'all, how many times have we been in that position? And you felt like you just had to go along with the situation. You just had to go along with the statement. But I'm telling you, let me tell you what Cutler did. I came into this year right here, and I know we're on our way out of this year, but I came into this year telling people that I was going to say no to a whole lot of things that I had said yes to before. I said there are going to be some questions where you might not like my response. There are going to be some questions where you may not want to hear me. But I'm telling you, if you ask my opinion about something that you're doing, something that you're creating, something that you're a part of, something that you're supporting, something that you're organizing, and it might even include me, then be ready for my honest response. I'm trying to help save somebody's life here tonight, because guess what? I'm going to be respectful, and so are you, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to be held hostage by what I want to say, by what I think I should say. I'm going to say it. And I'm going to be honest. Let me tell you about the power of no. That's what I want to talk about. Let me tell you about the power of no. Stop struggling just because other people misinterpret your no as being disrespectful. That's on them. And stop letting other people tell you what you implied. They don't know what you implied. All they know is what they inferred. See, they can't tell you what you implied or what you intended. I'm going to give you a freebie in conflict resolution. Stop telling people what they implied. The implication or the intention comes from the speaker. The inference or the interpretation is done by the hearer. Have you ever heard people say, well, that's what you implied? With their nasty selves, they try to tell you what you implied. No, you don't know what I implied. You don't know what I intended. All you know is what you interpreted. So stop letting people take your nose and misinterpret that and trying to then call you disrespectful. Listen, you all, if other people refuse to ask you your opinion because they are afraid of what you're going to say, don't let people make you feel bad for giving your honest no. Absolutely do not do it. Because if you have a no down in your soul, let it resonate all the way up to your mouth and be honest in all things, even the things that you don't like. Listen, I'm telling you, my no does not mean that I'm nasty. That's why I asked you all before, do you have a problem saying no to some people? And I read the comments. Some of you said it depends on who it is. I was reading the comments. But I'm telling you, my no and your no, family and friends, does not mean that you are nasty. Your no and my no just means that we're being honest. So guess what? Do you want to go with me to this event? No. I'm going to practice no, y'all. Let's do some practicing with no. Would you like to sing or participate in this event or this program that I'm having? No, thank you. See how polite that was? Here's another one. Can I borrow $300 from you? No. You might give a note on that one. Let's see. Um, would you babysit or pet sit for me tonight? No. Are y'all working with the nose here? May I ride with you? And then with this one, you're thinking, oh my Lord, am I doing the Christian thing? Am I doing the right thing? But if you really don't want the person to ride with you because they got their own transportation, now I'm not saying don't help people when they're down and out, but you got a car just like I got a car. You got 3 cars. In fact, I only got one. May I ride with you? No. Do you like the way that we restructured this department? Uh-uh. No. I'm telling you, absolutely. Somebody put it in the chat. No is a complete sentence. It is a complete thought. No, thank you. Did you enjoy yourself at my party? No, and I won't come again. You don't have to put it, I won't come again, but that may be what's inside of you. Did you enjoy yourself at my party? And in your mind, you think that's the worst party I've ever attended, but you say no. Don't ask me my opinion if you really don't want to know it. And then, Lord have mercy, and here is one. Listen, can I borrow your car? Can you what? No. Right? I'm telling you, you all learn to say no. I'm just trying to help save somebody tonight. As we're becoming better, have more personal fortitude and more personal integrity about yourselves. And when you want to say no, you give them a nada, a no thank you, no thank you, no ma'am, no sir. Learn to give people a no and don't feel bad about it. I'm telling you, learn to give people a no, because what does the lesson say? It says be honest in love and in hate. I wrote that because I wanted people to learn to be honest about the things that they like and about the things that they don't like. If you really want to empower yourself, learn to be honest in the moment. What did I call it earlier? Learn how to master the moment. Learn how to master the moment and understand the power of no. Don't you let people take your no's from you. No, you're not getting my consent. You're not getting my acquiescence. You're not getting my silence. You are going to get my no. All right. So your no belongs to you. It's some of the stuff that you have. Your no belongs to you. It is some of the stuff that you have. And here's how I want to end this conversation. Here's how I want to end this conversation. Didn't I say your no is some of the stuff that you have? You've been with me for the past almost 1,800 seconds, but I want to go out like this because we're getting ready for the weekend. So I want to read, if your no is some of the stuff that you have, I want to read this poem that I wrote several years ago. And it says, keep your stuff. It comes from my second book, Thoughts Keep Flowing. And it says, keep your stuff. Life gives us stuff, like gumballs and snowballs, snowfalls and melts, snowflakes and milkshakes, and God knows what else. Attitude and aptitude, altitude goes higher. Runaway, no time to pray, my soul is on fire. Moonbeams and simple things like red, white, and blue. What's on my mind? I've got no time. There's too much to do. Intensity is killing me. There's music in my head. I can't protest, can't stop to rest. There's too much to be said. Forget the shame, ignore the pain. There is a way to win. Stay in the race, pick up the pace. A crown is at the end. Hold on to your stuff. Listen, you all, for the past 1,800 seconds, I've been with you either in your family room, your kitchen, your car, your houses, wherever you are, and it has been my pleasure. It has absolutely been my pleasure to be with you, as it has been a joy to have you along this ride, this thing, this highway that we call life. We're getting ready to go into the weekend, so here's what I want you to do. I want us to continue building community, continue maintaining connectivity, stay safe, stay sane, keep your heads up, But most of all, keep your hopes up. Share love, peace, and joy with somebody else. I'm here every Tuesday, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Share, like, comment, subscribe, and tell somebody about Let's Talk to Cutler. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all next week right here, Tuesday.